Hey guys, this Bible study is going to be just a little bit different because we have wrapped up Exodus. Over this year, I have covered both Genesis and Exodus in a lot of detail. I have gone passage by passage, chapter by chapter, and discussed the story from creation until the Israelites have gotten the Ten Commandments, have set up the tabernacle, and are starting to live their life in the wilderness, but moving into what God has called them into, that land of milk and honey. He's moving them towards the promise. Now, there are lots of other things that happen as they move forward through the book of Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, which finish out kind of the initial story of the Israelites as they move into, before they start to move into that land. I am going to pick back up with the Bible study soon, but we are taking a break so that we can introduce the podcast. So this originally started out as a podcast. It was going to be just a very candid, casual discussion about some of the things that God has shown me, some things that I've experienced in the church, and just I really want to talk about what is going on. Like, there's a lot of things that we deal with as believers, both inside of the church and outside of the church. There's a lot of things that we need to be careful of as believers, so we're not stopping people from coming into the church, making sure that we're not the problem. And so I just want to talk about that. Some of these things are lessons that God gave me, some things that he wants me to talk about, and I'm going to do all of that in the podcast. So for the remainder of this year, there is going to be a podcast episode. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I will not be posting new videos here. I will be posting podcast clips, and I'm hoping that you're going to join me on Spotify, also, of course, YouTube, for the podcast with Reverend Anntoinette. It's going to be awesome. I am looking forward to seeing you there. And again, if there's ever a time where you have a question, if there's ever a time that I say something that seems a little bit, tell me about it. Let's talk it out, okay? So I hope to see you guys there. And let me know if and when it's time to bring the Bible study back. We'll definitely pick up in Leviticus. I can do an overview of the law. That'll be dropping at some point. That'll definitely be happening. Just don't have dates and times yet. And then we'll pick back up with the story as they move through the end of Leviticus and into Numbers, as we see them make their way through this desert. So I want to remind you all that I do appreciate absolutely every person that has tuned in, every person that has watched the video. And I am looking forward to seeing you guys at the podcast. Y'all be blessed.